He covered himself with a quilt. He covered himself with a quilt. He covered himself with a quilt. It's time to tell her the truth. It's time to tell her the truth. It's time to tell her the truth. Come to see me whenever you like. Come to see me whenever you like. Come to see me whenever you like. I need to practice my English. I need to practice my English. I need to practice my English. What time do you think you'll arrive? What time do you think you'll arrive? What time do you think you'll arrive? I can't live on my low pay. I can't live on my low pay. I can't live on my low pay. All is fair in love and war. All is fair in love and war. All is fair in love and war. I'm sorry I can't assist you. I'm sorry I can't assist you. I'm sorry I can't assist you. She wants to start a family. She wants to start a family. She wants to start a family. He was here a few minutes ago. He was here a few minutes ago. He was here a few minutes ago. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says. I don't care what anyone says. Is the next train an express? Is the next train an express? Is the next train an express? There's no Bob in this office. There's no Bob in this office. There's no Bob in this office. Do you have any Japanese cars? Do you have any Japanese cars? Do you have any Japanese cars? I'd prefer not to talk about it. I'd prefer not to talk about it. I'd prefer not to talk about it. I think we should do it this way. I think we should do it this way. I think we should do it this way. Are you going to patch things up? Are you going to patch things up? Are you going to patch things up? Do you think you will get a raise? Do you think you will get a raise? Do you think you will get a raise? It's just before the coffee shop. It's just before the coffee shop. It's just before the coffee shop. We found out that he wasn't there. We found out that he wasn't there. We found out that he wasn't there. The buses don't come as scheduled. The buses don't come as scheduled. The buses don't come as scheduled. The clock is 5 minutes behind. The clock is 5 minutes behind. The clock is 5 minutes behind. Would you please send us an email? Would you please send us an email? Would you please send us an email? What kind of snacks should we have? What kind of snacks should we have? What kind of snacks should we have? Would you turn off the alarm clock? Would you turn off the alarm clock? Would you turn off the alarm clock? You're wasting your time and money. You're wasting your time and money. You're wasting your time and money. The television show was interesting. The television show was interesting. The television show was interesting. I'll think it over. I'll think it over. I'll think it over. How long are you going to stay? How long are you going to stay? How long are you going to stay? He is incredible. He is incredible. He is incredible. What piece is it? What piece is it? What piece is it? There is a chair below the window. There is a chair below the window. There is a chair below the window. You should have a mind of your own. You should have a mind of your own. You should have a mind of your own. I have a lot of things to do. I have a lot of things to do. I have a lot of things to do. Are you asking me for a date? Are you asking me for a date? Are you asking me for a date? How many stops to the museum? How many stops to the museum? How many stops to the museum? I'm glad I've gotten to know you. I'm glad I've gotten to know you. I'm glad I've gotten to know you. This coffee is not hot enough. This coffee is not hot enough. This coffee is not hot enough. Do you have any objection to it? Do you have any objection to it? Do you have any objection to it? There's no one here by that name. There's no one here by that name. There's no one here by that name. Could we plan it for another day? Could we plan it for another day? Could we plan it for another day? Everyone gets lucky sometimes. Everyone gets lucky sometimes. Everyone gets lucky sometimes. They asked me how you were doing. They asked me how you were doing. They asked me how you were doing. Do you have any complaints to make? Do you have any complaints to make? Do you have any complaints to make? Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. Can I pay now? Can I pay now? Can I pay now? He resolved to give up smoking. He resolved to give up smoking. He resolved to give up smoking. I lost the door key about here. I lost the door key about here. I lost the door key about here. Time is more valuable than money. Time is more valuable than money. Time is more valuable than money. Will you pick me up at my place? Will you pick me up at my place? Will you pick me up at my place? How long have you been in America? How long have you been in America? How long have you been in America? May we ask you to send us? May we ask you to send us? May we ask you to send us? Where can I find a supermarket? Where can I find a supermarket? Where can I find a supermarket? We have to decide what to do. We have to decide what to do. We have to decide what to do. Get me a cup of coffee, please. Get me a cup of coffee, please. Get me a cup of coffee, please. His answer didn't satisfy me. His answer didn't satisfy me. His answer didn't satisfy me. How about having a cup of tea? How about having a cup of tea? How about having a cup of tea? I want you to meet my parents. I want you to meet my parents. I want you to meet my parents. There's a taxi stand up ahead. There's a taxi stand up ahead. There's a taxi stand up ahead. I don't want to get married yet. I don't want to get married yet. I don't want to get married yet. Don't flatter yourself so much. Don't flatter yourself so much. Don't flatter yourself so much. I brought a lot of money with me. I brought a lot of money with me. I brought a lot of money with me. My father's getting on in years. My father's getting on in years. My father's getting on in years. This is just between you and me. This is just between you and me. This is just between you and me. We have to work overtime again. We have to work overtime again. We have to work overtime again. Well, you got what you deserved. Well, you got what you deserved. Well, you got what you deserved. Will you take the dog for a walk? Will you take the dog for a walk? Will you take the dog for a walk? Could you send someone to fix it? Could you send someone to fix it? Could you send someone to fix it? Would you mind if I went with you? Would you mind if I went with you? Would you mind if I went with you? You can't see your friends today. You can't see your friends today. You can't see your friends today. Let's keep this our little secret. Let's keep this our little secret. Let's keep this our little secret. Let's get together again sometime. Let's get together again sometime. Let's get together again sometime. No, this is the first time. No, this is the first time. No, this is the first time. Would you care for something to drink? Would you care for something to drink? Would you care for something to drink? Who else is here? Who else is here? Who else is here? Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. Do you want to go to the movies? Do you want to go to the movies? Do you want to go to the movies? I'm leaving, Mom. I'm leaving, Mom. I'm leaving, Mom. I feel for you. I feel for you. I feel for you. Same as usual. Same as usual. Same as usual. I'll level with you. I'll level with you. I'll level with you. Example is better than precept. Example is better than precept. Example is better than precept. I really need to lose some weight. I really need to lose some weight. I really need to lose some weight. What's the point of going to college? What's the point of going to college? What's the point of going to college? He studies at Harvard University. He studies at Harvard University. He studies at Harvard University. My watch says 3 o'clock. My watch says 3 o'clock. My watch says 3 o'clock. No, he's very hard on me. No, he's very hard on me. No, he's very hard on me. We're on a first name basis. We're on a first name basis. We're on a first name basis. Can you get me a taxi, please? Can you get me a taxi, please? Can you get me a taxi, please? I don't love my wife anymore. I don't love my wife anymore. I don't love my wife anymore. I have no reason to be envied. I have no reason to be envied. I have no reason to be envied. I love Rose with all my heart. I love Rose with all my heart. I love Rose with all my heart. I've lost interest in my work. I've lost interest in my work. I've lost interest in my work. It takes 2 people to tango. It takes 2 people to tango. It takes 2 people to tango. That's why he's so successful. That's why he's so successful. That's why he's so successful. I work for a computer company. I work for a computer company. I work for a computer company. I will tell you all the details. I will tell you all the details. I will tell you all the details. It's the worst food I've ever had. It's the worst food I've ever had. It's the worst food I've ever had. Please bring me a pot of coffee. Please bring me a pot of coffee. Please bring me a pot of coffee. That's the way to use computers. That's the way to use computers. That's the way to use computers. He's a difficult man to deal with. He's a difficult man to deal with. He's a difficult man to deal with. I don't think you should fire her. I don't think you should fire her. I don't think you should fire her. Think twice before you go for it. Think twice before you go for it. Think twice before you go for it. Yes, and I've learned something. Yes, and I've learned something. Yes, and I've learned something. Can you recommend a good restaurant? Can you recommend a good restaurant? Can you recommend a good restaurant? I've been to the Norway and Germany. I've been to the Norway and Germany. I've been to the Norway and Germany. I don't feel like drinking anything. I don't feel like drinking anything. I don't feel like drinking anything. You shouldn't spend money foolishly. You shouldn't spend money foolishly. You shouldn't spend money foolishly. It's rather plain. It's rather plain. It's rather plain. I think so too. I think so too. I think so too. We observed this. We observed this. We observed this. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. I'm getting nervous. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. Where shall we eat? Where shall we eat? Where shall we eat? Can I drive you? Can I drive you? Can I drive you? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well done, son. Well done, son. Well done, son. What did you find? What did you find? What did you find? I hope you have a nice trip. I hope you have a nice trip. I hope you have a nice trip. Don't let chances pass by. Don't let chances pass by. Don't let chances pass by. The price just covers the cost. The price just covers the cost. The price just covers the cost. Draw your chair up to the table. Draw your chair up to the table. Draw your chair up to the table. Do you know how much it costs? Do you know how much it costs? Do you know how much it costs? I don't want to be tied down. I don't want to be tied down. I don't want to be tied down. It could catch on fire easily. It could catch on fire easily. It could catch on fire easily. Please speak a little more slowly. Please speak a little more slowly. Please speak a little more slowly. Do you think the economy will improve? Do you think the economy will improve? Do you think the economy will improve? Do you have cable? Do you have cable? Do you have cable? It's raining heavily. It's raining heavily. It's raining heavily. He ran the light. He ran the light. He ran the light. I'll put him on. I'll put him on. I'll put him on. I'll fill you in. I'll fill you in. I'll fill you in. What about having a pizza first? What about having a pizza first? What about having a pizza first? You are always doing a good job. You are always doing a good job. You are always doing a good job. I'm going to America next year. I'm going to America next year. I'm going to America next year. What does your father do for work? What does your father do for work? What does your father do for work? Yes, he's a chain smoker. Yes, he's a chain smoker. Yes, he's a chain smoker. You may go home now, John. You may go home now, John. You may go home now, John. Is there an English-speaking guide? Is there an English-speaking guide? Is there an English-speaking guide? When do I have to pay this by? When do I have to pay this by? When do I have to pay this by? You can go by express train. You can go by express train. You can go by express train. I can't express it in English. I can't express it in English. I can't express it in English. I will see you when I get back. I will see you when I get back. I will see you when I get back. It's too loud and turn it down. It's too loud and turn it down. It's too loud and turn it down. I feel down in the dumps today. I feel down in the dumps today. I feel down in the dumps today. I'm not taking any medication. I'm not taking any medication. I'm not taking any medication. Would you loan me $100? Would you loan me $100? Would you loan me $100? Do you want to go out for dinner? Do you want to go out for dinner? Do you want to go out for dinner? Where am I supposed to transfer? Where am I supposed to transfer? Where am I supposed to transfer? Enclosed, please find my picture. Enclosed, please find my picture. Enclosed, please find my picture. Nobody understands my feelings. Nobody understands my feelings. Nobody understands my feelings. Would you like him to call you back? Would you like him to call you back? Would you like him to call you back? I don't know anything about driving. I don't know anything about driving. I don't know anything about driving. Have you ever tried potato soup? Have you ever tried potato soup? Have you ever tried potato soup? Let's compromise. Let's compromise. Let's compromise. Here's my receipt. Here's my receipt. Here's my receipt. I'll do the rest. I'll do the rest. I'll do the rest. The boy was too nervous to speak. The boy was too nervous to speak. The boy was too nervous to speak. She became more and more beautiful. She became more and more beautiful. She became more and more beautiful. Can I see your passport, please? Can I see your passport, please? Can I see your passport, please? Well, no news is good news. Well, no news is good news. Well, no news is good news. Yes, I have a sweet tooth. Yes, I have a sweet tooth. Yes, I have a sweet tooth. I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to say this. I don't know how to say this. Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. Rome was not built in a day. There is no reason to do so. There is no reason to do so. There is no reason to do so. I've got so many things to do. I've got so many things to do. I've got so many things to do. I'd like a table near the window. I'd like a table near the window. I'd like a table near the window. I can't handle a girl like her. I can't handle a girl like her. I can't handle a girl like her. I can't make it in 10 minutes. I can't make it in 10 minutes. I can't make it in 10 minutes. Are you trying to get rid of me? Are you trying to get rid of me? Are you trying to get rid of me? I don't take him too seriously. I don't take him too seriously. I don't take him too seriously. The clock is 5 minutes fast. The clock is 5 minutes fast. The clock is 5 minutes fast. You forgot to turn off the light. You forgot to turn off the light. You forgot to turn off the light. Can I pay by installment payment? Can I pay by installment payment? Can I pay by installment payment? Do you want to play golf tomorrow? Do you want to play golf tomorrow? Do you want to play golf tomorrow? I'd like a Chinese speaking guide. I'd like a Chinese speaking guide. I'd like a Chinese speaking guide. I'm sick and tired of hearing that. I'm sick and tired of hearing that. I'm sick and tired of hearing that. Make sure it doesn't happen again. Make sure it doesn't happen again. Make sure it doesn't happen again. Which would you like, beef or fish? Which would you like, beef or fish? Which would you like, beef or fish? Would you drop me off at the store? Would you drop me off at the store? Would you drop me off at the store? We take pleasure in informing you. We take pleasure in informing you. We take pleasure in informing you. Do they permit taking pictures here? Do they permit taking pictures here? Do they permit taking pictures here? I like your home. I like your home. I like your home. There are many stars in the sky. There are many stars in the sky. There are many stars in the sky. May I know the quantity you require? May I know the quantity you require? May I know the quantity you require? How long do you plan to stay? How long do you plan to stay? How long do you plan to stay? We need a large table, please. We need a large table, please. We need a large table, please. She came to see me personally. She came to see me personally. She came to see me personally. He gave me an ambiguous answer. He gave me an ambiguous answer. He gave me an ambiguous answer. He takes things too seriously. He takes things too seriously. He takes things too seriously. I'm staying at the Benson Hotel. I'm staying at the Benson Hotel. I'm staying at the Benson Hotel. We have a more plain-looking one. We have a more plain-looking one. We have a more plain-looking one. I'm afraid I have the wrong number. I'm afraid I have the wrong number. I'm afraid I have the wrong number. Would you bring me a cup of coffee? Would you bring me a cup of coffee? Would you bring me a cup of coffee? Would you put up the clothes to dry? Would you put up the clothes to dry? Would you put up the clothes to dry? Would you speak up a little, please? Would you speak up a little, please? Would you speak up a little, please? That's a very straightforward answer. That's a very straightforward answer. That's a very straightforward answer. I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. I want to ask you a question. I love your hair. I love your hair. I love your hair. Let's go short. Let's go short. Let's go short. Another cat came to my house. Another cat came to my house. Another cat came to my house. Japan is to the east of China. Japan is to the east of China. Japan is to the east of China. His talk covered many subjects. His talk covered many subjects. His talk covered many subjects. The teacher tested us in English. The teacher tested us in English. The teacher tested us in English. They employed him as a consultant. They employed him as a consultant. They employed him as a consultant. The book is protected by copyright. The book is protected by copyright. The book is protected by copyright. The editor overlooked a print error. The editor overlooked a print error. The editor overlooked a print error. My house is close to the bank. My house is close to the bank. My house is close to the bank. It takes 2 hours by train. It takes 2 hours by train. It takes 2 hours by train. How many people in that restaurant? How many people in that restaurant? How many people in that restaurant? If you like it, I can buy more. If you like it, I can buy more. If you like it, I can buy more. He said this is a nice place. He said this is a nice place. He said this is a nice place. Just relax, I will help you. Just relax, I will help you. Just relax, I will help you. I have no words to thank you. I have no words to thank you. I have no words to thank you. Yes, I have been there twice. Yes, I have been there twice. Yes, I have been there twice. Do you want me to get a doctor? Do you want me to get a doctor? Do you want me to get a doctor? He says a lot of weird things. He says a lot of weird things. He says a lot of weird things. I'd like a wake-up call, please. I'd like a wake-up call, please. I'd like a wake-up call, please. Did he send someone to see you? Did he send someone to see you? Did he send someone to see you? Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover. Don't judge a book by its cover. He's wise considering his age. He's wise considering his age. He's wise considering his age. I usually work out after work. I usually work out after work. I usually work out after work. I'd like a cup of coffee, please. I'd like a cup of coffee, please. I'd like a cup of coffee, please. Did you stay up late last night? Did you stay up late last night? Did you stay up late last night? I can't understand this machine. I can't understand this machine. I can't understand this machine. I can't understand what you mean. I can't understand what you mean. I can't understand what you mean. I will believe that when I see it. I will believe that when I see it. I will believe that when I see it. Is there a post office near here? Is there a post office near here? Is there a post office near here? Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. Actions speak louder than words. I took advantage of his weakness. I took advantage of his weakness. I took advantage of his weakness. My parents and my younger sister. My parents and my younger sister. My parents and my younger sister. We value your suggestion highly. We value your suggestion highly. We value your suggestion highly. Have you finished your homework yet? Have you finished your homework yet? Have you finished your homework yet? Don't you think seafood are healthier? Don't you think seafood are healthier? Don't you think seafood are healthier? I have temperature. I have temperature. I have temperature. My false teeth are stuck to it. My false teeth are stuck to it. My false teeth are stuck to it. How many languages do you speak? How many languages do you speak? How many languages do you speak? I want to offer a suggestion. I want to offer a suggestion. I want to offer a suggestion. I'm sorry, I must have misdialed. I'm sorry, I must have misdialed. I'm sorry, I must have misdialed. He should be back in 10 minutes. He should be back in 10 minutes. He should be back in 10 minutes. I don't know what he is getting at. I don't know what he is getting at. I don't know what he is getting at. Nothing will stop me from doing it. Nothing will stop me from doing it. Nothing will stop me from doing it. I've learned something. I've learned something. I've learned something. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. We will send you. We will send you. We will send you. This is depressing. This is depressing. This is depressing. Where were you born? Where were you born? Where were you born? It's a secret between you and me. It's a secret between you and me. It's a secret between you and me. The salve will heal slight burns. The salve will heal slight burns. The salve will heal slight burns. He will blame you for carelessness. He will blame you for carelessness. He will blame you for carelessness. I don't doubt that he will help me. I don't doubt that he will help me. I don't doubt that he will help me. To know everything is to know nothing. To know everything is to know nothing. To know everything is to know nothing. She wants to know when you're coming. She wants to know when you're coming. She wants to know when you're coming. That car is similar to my car. That car is similar to my car. That car is similar to my car. I have to go wash my face. I have to go wash my face. I have to go wash my face. Let me show you how to do it. Let me show you how to do it. Let me show you how to do it. Are you going to attend her wedding? Are you going to attend her wedding? Are you going to attend her wedding? I don't want anyone to see it. I don't want anyone to see it. I don't want anyone to see it. Japan is a very rich country. Japan is a very rich country. Japan is a very rich country. My mother died when I was 10. My mother died when I was 10. My mother died when I was 10. It's an honor for me to meet you. It's an honor for me to meet you. It's an honor for me to meet you. My father's becoming an old man. My father's becoming an old man. My father's becoming an old man. What kind of tours do you offer? What kind of tours do you offer? What kind of tours do you offer? I want to get along with everyone. I want to get along with everyone. I want to get along with everyone. What they say doesn't matter to me. What they say doesn't matter to me. What they say doesn't matter to me. Have you grown accustomed to Isa? Have you grown accustomed to Isa? Have you grown accustomed to Isa? I don't see where you're coming from. I don't see where you're coming from. I don't see where you're coming from. Would you like to play golf with me? Would you like to play golf with me? Would you like to play golf with me? Did you hear that the meeting went well? Did you hear that the meeting went well? Did you hear that the meeting went well? What's that made of? What's that made of? What's that made of? It's to die for. It's to die for. It's to die for. I'm pleased with it. I'm pleased with it. I'm pleased with it. But who will do all the housework? But who will do all the housework? But who will do all the housework? He drives more carefully than you. He drives more carefully than you. He drives more carefully than you. I'd like to repair our differences. I'd like to repair our differences. I'd like to repair our differences. Who but Jack would do such a thing? Who but Jack would do such a thing? Who but Jack would do such a thing? You may have heard of birth control. You may have heard of birth control. You may have heard of birth control. That restaurant is not expensive. That restaurant is not expensive. That restaurant is not expensive. I'm not sure how to put this. I'm not sure how to put this. I'm not sure how to put this. I hope to see you again soon. I hope to see you again soon. I hope to see you again soon. But I just made a big mistake. But I just made a big mistake. But I just made a big mistake. He's only 10 and he made this. He's only 10 and he made this. He's only 10 and he made this. I am sorry for what I have done. I am sorry for what I have done. I am sorry for what I have done. I will tell him to call you back. I will tell him to call you back. I will tell him to call you back. Just tell me the story in brief. Just tell me the story in brief. Just tell me the story in brief. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way. Will I have to have an operation? Will I have to have an operation? Will I have to have an operation? Please hand in the document to me. Please hand in the document to me. Please hand in the document to me. Guess who I bumped into yesterday? Guess who I bumped into yesterday? Guess who I bumped into yesterday? Is coffee included with this meal? Is coffee included with this meal? Is coffee included with this meal? We're as different as night and day. We're as different as night and day. We're as different as night and day. We're having a track and field meet. We're having a track and field meet. We're having a track and field meet. Could I possibly use your bathroom? Could I possibly use your bathroom? Could I possibly use your bathroom? You need to readjust your attitude. You need to readjust your attitude. You need to readjust your attitude. Could I please have another room key? Could I please have another room key? Could I please have another room key? Why are you doing something like this? Why are you doing something like this? Why are you doing something like this? Worrying about it won't make it better. Worrying about it won't make it better. Worrying about it won't make it better. It's very cozy. It's very cozy. It's very cozy. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Let's go for it. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? Whose fault is that? That's really funny. That's really funny. That's really funny. Keep going straight. Keep going straight. Keep going straight. That'll be the day. That'll be the day. That'll be the day. Here's to your health. Here's to your health. Here's to your health. I fear that he drinks too much. I fear that he drinks too much. I fear that he drinks too much. He invited me to dinner yesterday. He invited me to dinner yesterday. He invited me to dinner yesterday. I'd like to get this film developed. I'd like to get this film developed. I'd like to get this film developed. He says strange things a lot. He says strange things a lot. He says strange things a lot. Sounds like a good idea to me. Sounds like a good idea to me. Sounds like a good idea to me. Kill two birds with one stone. Kill two birds with one stone. Kill two birds with one stone. I need to talk to him immediately. I need to talk to him immediately. I need to talk to him immediately. I'd like 2 tickets for tomorrow. I'd like 2 tickets for tomorrow. I'd like 2 tickets for tomorrow. Could you pass me the sugar, please? Could you pass me the sugar, please? Could you pass me the sugar, please? I'm afraid you have the wrong number. I'm afraid you have the wrong number. I'm afraid you have the wrong number. How much does it cost per day? How much does it cost per day? How much does it cost per day? May we remind you? May we remind you? May we remind you? Sorry, we don't have any money. Sorry, we don't have any money. Sorry, we don't have any money. Are you saying that? Are you saying that? Are you saying that? That smells great. That smells great. That smells great. He broke his words once again. He broke his words once again. He broke his words once again. I have my hair cut every month. I have my hair cut every month. I have my hair cut every month. The eggs are sold by the dozen. The eggs are sold by the dozen. The eggs are sold by the dozen. I found him seated on the bench. I found him seated on the bench. I found him seated on the bench. I expect to be there this evening. I expect to be there this evening. I expect to be there this evening. The girl in red is his girlfriend. The girl in red is his girlfriend. The girl in red is his girlfriend. Suppose it rains, what shall we do? Suppose it rains, what shall we do? Suppose it rains, what shall we do? Your children are very well behaved. Your children are very well behaved. Your children are very well behaved. This task is too much for me. This task is too much for me. This task is too much for me. I'm in charge of the west side. I'm in charge of the west side. I'm in charge of the west side. Does this bus go to the airport? Does this bus go to the airport? Does this bus go to the airport? I can't hear a word you're saying. I can't hear a word you're saying. I can't hear a word you're saying. Don't make an ass out of yourself. Don't make an ass out of yourself. Don't make an ass out of yourself. I feel lonely without my husband. I feel lonely without my husband. I feel lonely without my husband. You seem especially happy today. You seem especially happy today. You seem especially happy today. Don't blame me because I'm innocent. Don't blame me because I'm innocent. Don't blame me because I'm innocent. How's he getting along these days? How is he getting along these days? How's he getting along these days? We thank you for your cooperation. We thank you for your cooperation. We thank you for your cooperation. We observed that he stole the money. We observed that he stole the money. We observed that he stole the money. We are pleased to answer your letter. We are pleased to answer your letter. We are pleased to answer your letter. She's pretty tame. She's pretty tame. She's pretty tame. You'll pay for this. You'll pay for this. You'll pay for this. I was overjoyed. I was overjoyed. I was overjoyed. What does it include? What does it include? What does it include? All he thinks about is sex. All he thinks about is sex. All he thinks about is sex. The best way is to get a Uber. The best way is to get a Uber. The best way is to get a Uber. Is Max an old friend of yours? Is Max an old friend of yours? Is Max an old friend of yours? That's not a nice thing to say. That's not a nice thing to say. That's not a nice thing to say. Does this train stop at Miami? Does this train stop at Miami? Does this train stop at Miami? I think it is a matter of opinion. I think it is a matter of opinion. I think it is a matter of opinion. He often says ridiculous things. He often says ridiculous things. He often says ridiculous things. I need more help with the project. I need more help with the project. I need more help with the project. Do you have any local specialties? Do you have any local specialties? Do you have any local specialties? I like the looks of this one better. I like the looks of this one better. I like the looks of this one better. Congratulations on your promotion. Congratulations on your promotion. Congratulations on your promotion. You're the one not following the rules. You're the one not following the rules. You're the one not following the rules. What's the weather going to be tomorrow? What's the weather going to be tomorrow? What's the weather going to be tomorrow? I'll take this one. I'll take this one. I'll take this one. A compact, please. A compact, please. A compact, please. It appears to be a true story. It appears to be a true story. It appears to be a true story. It's rude to stare at other people. It's rude to stare at other people. It's rude to stare at other people. When are you going to meet your friend? When are you going to meet your friend? When are you going to meet your friend? No, he's a stubborn old man. No, he's a stubborn old man. No, he's a stubborn old man. I'm sorry I can't be any help. I'm sorry I can't be any help. I'm sorry I can't be any help. He has a lot of common sense. He has a lot of common sense. He has a lot of common sense. I think he has a crush on you. I think he has a crush on you. I think he has a crush on you. I won 2 tickets to Hawaii. I won 2 tickets to Hawaii. I won 2 tickets to Hawaii. We have great seats, don't we? We have great seats, don't we? We have great seats, don't we? How do I get to the shoe store? How do I get to the shoe store? How do I get to the shoe store? I'd like some red wine, please. I'd like some red wine, please. I'd like some red wine, please. I don't want to get engaged yet. I don't want to get engaged yet. I don't want to get engaged yet. I don't take him very seriously. I don't take him very seriously. I don't take him very seriously. I want to work for this company. I want to work for this company. I want to work for this company. I know, but I'm hooked on nicotine. I know, but I'm hooked on nicotine. I know, but I'm hooked on nicotine. Which songs do you sing the best? Which songs do you sing the best? Which songs do you sing the best? How many people came to the party? How many people came to the party? How many people came to the party? Do you like the new computer system? Do you like the new computer system? Do you like the new computer system? I want to know everything about you. I want to know everything about you. I want to know everything about you. I will believe that when it happens. I will believe that when it happens. I will believe that when it happens. My heart has been filled with grief. My heart has been filled with grief. My heart has been filled with grief. What document are you talking about? What document are you talking about? What document are you talking about? It was a tie. It was a tie. It was a tie. Everyone can sing. Everyone can sing. Everyone can sing. A fair weather friend. A fair weather friend. A fair weather friend. Do you listen to me? Do you listen to me? Do you listen to me? Am I near pears? Am I near pears? Am I near pears? What a lovely little girl she is. What a lovely little girl she is. What a lovely little girl she is. But I plan to weed the yard today. But I plan to weed the yard today. But I plan to weed the yard today. I'd like to look at some sweaters. I'd like to look at some sweaters. I'd like to look at some sweaters. You can never turn the clock back. You can never turn the clock back. You can never turn the clock back. The teams are coming onto the field. The teams are coming onto the field. The teams are coming onto the field. The students declared against cheating. The students declared against cheating. The students declared against cheating. I'd like to buy a bottle of water. I'd like to buy a bottle of water. I'd like to buy a bottle of water. I'll have a glass of water, please. I'll have a glass of water, please. I'll have a glass of water, please. Will you pass me the salt, please? Will you pass me the salt, please? Will you pass me the salt, please? We have 2 boys and 1 girl. We have 2 boys and 1 girl. We have 2 boys and 1 girl. I found $10 on the street. I found $10 on the street. I found $10 on the street. I don't have time to be lazy. I don't have time to be lazy. I don't have time to be lazy. If the shoe fits, just wear it. If the shoe fits, just wear it. If the shoe fits, just wear it. Do you mind if I use your phone? Do you mind if I use your phone? Do you mind if I use your phone? How can he get in touch with you? How can he get in touch with you? How can he get in touch with you? There are many roads to success. There are many roads to success. There are many roads to success. How many people live in this town? How many people live in this town? How many people live in this town? I'm dissatisfied with his answer. I'm dissatisfied with his answer. I'm dissatisfied with his answer. I'm going to get married next year. I'm going to get married next year. I'm going to get married next year. Am I allowed to take pictures here? Am I allowed to take pictures here? Am I allowed to take pictures here? Don't speak bad about other people. Don't speak bad about other people. Don't speak bad about other people. We thank you for raising the issue. We thank you for raising the issue. We thank you for raising the issue. He skipped without paying his debt. He skipped without paying his debt. He skipped without paying his debt. Never judge something by its looks. Never judge something by its looks. Never judge something by its looks. So you can't sing? So you can't sing. So you can't sing? His boss might get angry with him. His boss might get angry with him. His boss might get angry with him. Sorry, I don't have a pencil. Sorry, I don't have a pencil. Sorry, I don't have a pencil. Do you have this in size 11? Do you have this in size 11? Do you have this in size 11? I will be ready in 5 minutes. I will be ready in 5 minutes. I will be ready in 5 minutes. My son stopped going to school. My son stopped going to school. My son stopped going to school. All my effort went down the drain. All my effort went down the drain. All my effort went down the drain. I'm afraid there is a mistake here. I'm afraid there is a mistake here. I'm afraid there is a mistake here. He chickened out at the last moment. He chickened out at the last moment. He chickened out at the last moment. You're wearing your sweater inside out. You're wearing your sweater inside out. You're wearing your sweater inside out. You weren't that bad. You weren't that bad. You weren't that bad. That's pretty clever. That's pretty clever. That's pretty clever. I made some dinner. I made some dinner. I made some dinner. That is my idea about friendship. That is my idea about friendship. That is my idea about friendship. We two finished a bottle of wine. We two finished a bottle of wine. We two finished a bottle of wine. It's nothing to be surprised about. It's nothing to be surprised about. It's nothing to be surprised about. I think I need to see a doctor. I think I need to see a doctor. I think I need to see a doctor. I never knew he was so rich. I never knew he was so rich. I never knew he was so rich. Will that be for here or to go? Will that be for here or to go? Will that be for here or to go? I will take you up on that offer. I will take you up on that offer. I will take you up on that offer. I'm trying to get a date with her. I'm trying to get a date with her. I'm trying to get a date with her. This knife cuts well, doesn't it? This knife cuts well, doesn't it? This knife cuts well, doesn't it? At what station should I change? At what station should I change? At what station should I change? Don't try to make me look foolish. Don't try to make me look foolish. Don't try to make me look foolish. No, I've already finished school. No, I've already finished school. No, I've already finished school. How frequently do the trains come? How frequently do the trains come? How frequently do the trains come? This is in response to your letter. This is in response to your letter. This is in response to your letter. Which date do you have tickets for? Which date do you have tickets for? Which date do you have tickets for? What time does the dining room open? What time does the dining room open? What time does the dining room open? Will you help me fold up the clothes? Will you help me fold up the clothes? Will you help me fold up the clothes? This is more pleasing in appearance. This is more pleasing in appearance. This is more pleasing in appearance. What's the difference between A and B? What's the difference between A and B? What's the difference between A and B? Congratulations on your engagement. Congratulations on your engagement. Congratulations on your engagement. He didn't pay the debt and disappeared. He didn't pay the debt and disappeared. He didn't pay the debt and disappeared. Worrying about it won't solve anything. Worrying about it won't solve anything. Worrying about it won't solve anything. What were you thinking? What were you thinking? What were you thinking? That looks delicious. That looks delicious. That looks delicious. Please excuse me. Please excuse me. Please excuse me. Where is it playing? Where is it playing? Where is it playing? John asked Grace to marry him. John asked Grace to marry him. John asked Grace to marry him. This work itself is very easy. This work itself is very easy. This work itself is very easy. He is heavily insured against death. He is heavily insured against death. He is heavily insured against death. We arrived in London this afternoon. We arrived in London this afternoon. We arrived in London this afternoon. May I see a menu in Chinese? May I see a menu in Chinese? May I see a menu in Chinese? He comes to see me in person. He comes to see me in person. He comes to see me in person. I will do it the way I want to. I will do it the way I want to. I will do it the way I want to. I will try, but I can't promise. I will try, but I can't promise. I will try, but I can't promise. I still have many years of work. I still have many years of work. I still have many years of work. I don't want to cause you trouble. I don't want to cause you trouble. I don't want to cause you trouble. I made a reservation for tonight. I made a reservation for tonight. I made a reservation for tonight. Can I get a Korean-speaking person? Can I get a Korean-speaking person? Can I get a Korean-speaking person? I'm really sorry for troubling you. I'm really sorry for troubling you. I'm really sorry for troubling you. Thank you for making me feel better. Thank you for making me feel better. Thank you for making me feel better. Which side are you? Which side are you? Which side are you? Don't cut in line. Don't cut in line. Don't cut in line. Hello, is anyone home? Hello, is anyone home? Hello, is anyone home? What's your element? What's your element? What's your element? He has been sick for 3 weeks. He has been sick for 3 weeks. He has been sick for 3 weeks. We are all in favor of this plan. We are all in favor of this plan. We are all in favor of this plan. I bought it the day it was released. I bought it the day it was released. I bought it the day it was released. We can't go out because of the rain. We can't go out because of the rain. We can't go out because of the rain. The weight is too much for my height. The weight is too much for my height. The weight is too much for my height. What we read influences our thinking. What we read influences our thinking. What we read influences our thinking. Their interest is listening to others. Their interest is listening to others. Their interest is listening to others. I want to contact our embassy. I want to contact our embassy. I want to contact our embassy. I can't concentrate on my work. I can't concentrate on my work. I can't concentrate on my work. Let's keep our talk between us. Let's keep our talk between us. Let's keep our talk between us. After school, we played soccer. After school, we played soccer. After school, we played soccer. I want to watch more television. I want to watch more television. I want to watch more television. Thanks for being such a good mom. Thanks for being such a good mom. Thanks for being such a good mom. How long will you be in Singapore? How long will you be in Singapore? How long will you be in Singapore? I don't know anything else about it. I don't know anything else about it. I don't know anything else about it. Let's keep in touch with each other. Let's keep in touch with each other. Let's keep in touch with each other. The trains come every 10 minutes. The trains come every 10 minutes. The trains come every 10 minutes. Is there a room available for tonight? Is there a room available for tonight? Is there a room available for tonight? How would you like your steak prepared? How would you like your steak prepared? How would you like your steak prepared? Please underline the important items. Please underline the important items. Please underline the important items. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. The proof of the pudding is in the eating. Kudos to your dad. Kudos to your dad. Kudos to your dad. I consider that. I'd consider that. I consider that. This is my boss. This is my boss. This is my boss. I want to see. I want to see. I want to see. I'll be glad to. I'll be glad to. I'll be glad to. Beyond all questions, you are right. Beyond all questions, you are right. Beyond all questions, you are right. I would rather stay at home alone. I would rather stay at home alone. I would rather stay at home alone. We should make good use of our time. we should make good use of our time. We should make good use of our time. He said you like to watch movies. He said you like to watch movies. He said you like to watch movies. No, but I know him by sight. No, but I know him by sight. No, but I know him by sight. Let me repeat the number 45. Let me repeat the number 45. Let me repeat the number 45. Let's take a walk for a change. Let's take a walk for a change. Let's take a walk for a change. How many trains run in an hour? How many trains run in an hour? How many trains run in an hour? I'm glad that the exams are over. I'm glad that the exams are over. I'm glad that the exams are over. If you change this, it will work. If you change this, it will work. If you change this, it will work. My wife is very important to me. My wife is very important to me. My wife is very important to me. Am I allowed to park my car there? Am I allowed to park my car there? Am I allowed to park my car there? Do you have this shirt in a small? Do you have this shirt in a small? Do you have this shirt in a small? Please be more careful next time. Please be more careful next time. Please be more careful next time. Please hand the document in to me. Please hand the document in to me. Please hand the document in to me. How much would it cost to get there? How much would it cost to get there? How much would it cost to get there? What number are you trying to reach? What number are you trying to reach? What number are you trying to reach? I don't know what he's really thinking. I don't know what he's really thinking. I don't know what he's really thinking. Where is the China Airlines counter? Where is the China Airlines counter? Where is the China Airlines counter? You're the most beautiful woman I know. You're the most beautiful woman I know. You're the most beautiful woman I know. Could we have a Chinese-speaking guide? Could we have a Chinese-speaking guide? Could we have a Chinese-speaking guide? Who won the finals? Who won the finals? Who won the finals? How many miles is it to Dallas? How many miles is it to Dallas? How many miles is it to Dallas? He is only about 5 feet high. He is only about 5 feet high. He is only about 5 feet high. You may as well tell me the truth. You may as well tell me the truth. You may as well tell me the truth. Nothing but death can part the couple. Nothing but death can part the couple. Nothing but death can part the couple. Yes, I'm sure I can do it. Yes, I'm sure I can do it. Yes, I'm sure I can do it. Were you at the library last night? Were you at the library last night? Were you at the library last night? I take charge of the west side. I take charge of the west side. I take charge of the west side. Are you for or against his idea? Are you for or against his idea? Are you for or against his idea? Don't feel so bad about yourself. Don't feel so bad about yourself. Don't feel so bad about yourself. What is the fare to go to the theater? What is the fare to go to the theater? What is the fare to go to the theater? We would like to have separate checks. We would like to have separate checks. We would like to have separate checks. Do you have anything to complain about? Do you have anything to complain about? Do you have anything to complain about? Look before you leap. Look before you leap. Look before you leap. Great to see you. Great to see you. Great to see you. A lost chance never returns. A lost chance never returns. A lost chance never returns. A wet road is usually slippery. A wet road is usually slippery. A wet road is usually slippery. She is a compasser for the harp. She is a compasser for the harp. She is a compasser for the harp. Patience is a mark of confidence. Patience is a mark of confidence. Patience is a mark of confidence. Her handbag goes with her clothes. Her handbag goes with her clothes. Her handbag goes with her clothes. You will soon get used to the work. You will soon get used to the work. You will soon get used to the work. I doubted whether the story is true. I doubted whether the story is true. I doubted whether the story is true. It was as easy as ABC. It was as easy as ABC. It was as easy as ABC. I suggest you take a taxi. I suggest you take a taxi. I suggest you take a taxi. Is it okay if I use your pen? Is it okay if I use your pen? Is it okay if I use your pen? I will ask him to call you back. I will ask him to call you back. I will ask him to call you back. I don't know what he is driving at. I don't know what he is driving at. I don't know what he is driving at. You said you wanted to talk to me? You said you wanted to talk to me. You said you wanted to talk to me? I'm not ready for married life yet. I'm not ready for married life yet. I'm not ready for married life yet. We're going to be late for the movie. we're going to be late for the movie. We're going to be late for the movie. Don't act like you're better than I am. Don't act like you're better than I am. Don't act like you're better than I am. What you need is a little more effort. What you need is a little more effort. What you need is a little more effort. Where is the shoe department located? Where is the shoe department located? Where is the shoe department located? Who else is coming? Who else is coming? Who else is coming? Did you donate anything? Did you donate anything? Did you donate anything? I really regret it. I really regret it. I really regret it. $400. $400. $400. May I take a look? May I take a look? May I take a look? Her family are all music lovers. Her family are all music lovers. Her family are all music lovers. It's very kind of you to help me. It's very kind of you to help me. It's very kind of you to help me. How many people are there in Tokyo? How many people are there in Tokyo? How many people are there in Tokyo? It's nice of you to say so. It's nice of you to say so. It's nice of you to say so. I left my key inside my room. I left my key inside my room. I left my key inside my room. I can't get focused on my work. I can't get focused on my work. I can't get focused on my work. Can we have some more bread, please? Can we have some more bread, please? Can we have some more bread, please? I'm not ready to settle down yet. I'm not ready to settle down yet. I'm not ready to settle down yet. I'd be glad to have you over again. I'd be glad to have you over again. I'd be glad to have you over again. We had melon for lunch at school. We had melon for lunch at school. We had melon for lunch at school. When do you want to go out with me? When do you want to go out with me? When do you want to go out with me? Where's a taxi stand around here? Where's a taxi stand around here? Where's a taxi stand around here? Do you know who you are talking to? Do you know who you are talking to? Do you know who you are talking to? He always treats me like an enemy. He always treats me like an enemy. He always treats me like an enemy. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. I'm sorry to have kept you waiting. She only married him for his money. She only married him for his money. She only married him for his money. I'd rather talk about something else. I'd rather talk about something else. I'd rather talk about something else. You can't have everything your own way. You can't have everything your own way. You can't have everything your own way. Where's the tourist information center? Where's the tourist information center? Where's the tourist information center? I'm walking on air. I'm walking on air. I'm walking on air. I'd like to call the United States. I'd like to call the United States. I'd like to call the United States. I always say what's on my mind. I always say what's on my mind. I always say what's on my mind. Let's try our best to finish it. Let's try our best to finish it. Let's try our best to finish it. Only if it's not long distance. Only if it's not long distance. Only if it's not long distance. I can't put up with it any longer. I can't put up with it any longer. I can't put up with it any longer. We are sorry to inform you that. We are sorry to inform you that. We are sorry to inform you that. This is too much for me to handle. This is too much for me to handle. This is too much for me to handle. Let me transfer this call for you. Let me transfer this call for you. Let me transfer this call for you. I'm looking for a black leather bag. I'm looking for a black leather bag. I'm looking for a black leather bag. I tidied my room. I tidied my room. I tidied my room. Which would you recommend? Which would you recommend? Which would you recommend? He owes my uncle $100. He owes my uncle $100. He owes my uncle $100. Smith teaches English at a school. Smith teaches English at a school. Smith teaches English at a school. There was a notice in the supermarket. There was a notice in the supermarket. There was a notice in the supermarket. Why isn't the cat catching the mice? Why isn't the cat catching the mice? Why isn't the cat catching the mice? Do you know where I can buy coffee? Do you know where I can buy coffee? Do you know where I can buy coffee? No, first come first serve. No, first come first serve. No, first come first serve. I still can't decide what to do. I still can't decide what to do. I still can't decide what to do. I'm trying to make a pass-atter. I'm trying to make a pass at her. I'm trying to make a pass-atter. Did you go to bed late last night? Did you go to bed late last night? Did you go to bed late last night? I can't complete this task alone. I can't complete this task alone. I can't complete this task alone. I left because I didn't feel well. I left because I didn't feel well. I left because I didn't feel well. Let me give you a piece of advice. Let me give you a piece of advice. Let me give you a piece of advice. This is the best moment of my life. This is the best moment of my life. This is the best moment of my life. Please keep me company for a while. Please keep me company for a while. Please keep me company for a while. When is the next bus to Heidelberg? When is the next bus to Heidelberg? When is the next bus to Heidelberg? You're starting to get on my nerves. You're starting to get on my nerves. You're starting to get on my nerves. I can hardly wait until this summer. I can hardly wait until this summer. I can hardly wait until this summer. It is always a pleasure serving you. It is always a pleasure serving you. It is always a pleasure serving you. What is the price of a dinner course? What is the price of a dinner course? What is the price of a dinner course? We're playing golf this Sunday, right? We're playing golf this Sunday, right? We're playing golf this Sunday, right? Which train is going toward Calgary? Which train is going toward Calgary? Which train is going toward Calgary? Did you have anything to complain about? Did you have anything to complain about? Did you have anything to complain about? You're just pretending that you're asleep. You're just pretending that you're asleep. You're just pretending that you're asleep. I'd like to send this to America. I'd like to send this to America. I'd like to send this to America. You make me happy. You make me happy. You make me happy. Have a nice stay. Have a nice stay. Have a nice stay. Please push the ladder against the wall. Please push the ladder against the wall. Please push the ladder against the wall. Well, monkey see, monkey do. Well, monkey see, monkey do. Well, monkey see, monkey do. I'm sorry he's not in right now. I'm sorry he's not in right now. I'm sorry he's not in right now. I don't want to get serious yet. I don't want to get serious yet. I don't want to get serious yet. We are very sorry for your loss. We are very sorry for your loss. We are very sorry for your loss. You were sawing logs last night. You were sawing logs last night. You were sawing logs last night. You the same old Bob, aren't you? You're the same old Bob, aren't you? You the same old Bob, aren't you? How many people are in your family? How many people are in your family? How many people are in your family? That's a possibility. That's a possibility. That's a possibility. I'll love you forever. I'll love you forever. I'll love you forever. A wild goose chase. A wild goose chase. A wild goose chase. Is this Dennis Smith? Is this Dennis Smith? Is this Dennis Smith? He struck his attacker on the ear. He struck his attacker on the ear. He struck his attacker on the ear. He was married to a friend of mine. He was married to a friend of mine. He was married to a friend of mine. I'd like some water too, please. I'd like some water too, please. I'd like some water too, please. On your mark, get set, go. On your mark, get set, go. On your mark, get set, go. I will give you 10% discount. I will give you 10% discount. I will give you 10% discount. Are you asking me out on a date? Are you asking me out on a date? Are you asking me out on a date? Let me propose a toast to Kyle. Let me propose a toast to Kyle. Let me propose a toast to Kyle. Sorry, I will be busy tomorrow. Sorry, I will be busy tomorrow. Sorry, I will be busy tomorrow. May I see your passport, please? May I see your passport, please? May I see your passport, please? I can't make an exception for you. I can't make an exception for you. I can't make an exception for you. I need more time to think about it. I need more time to think about it. I need more time to think about it. I received bad treatment from him. I received bad treatment from him. I received bad treatment from him. Is there a post office around here? Is there a post office around here? Is there a post office around here? I appreciate your effort very much. I appreciate your effort very much. I appreciate your effort very much. I should try to be more down to earth. I should try to be more down to earth. I should try to be more down to earth. We would appreciate an early reply. We would appreciate an early reply. We would appreciate an early reply. You're right here, near Central Park. You're right here, near Central Park. You're right here, near Central Park. I'm kind of hungry. I'm kind of hungry. I'm kind of hungry. What a great idea. What a great idea. What a great idea. Separate checks, please. Separate checks, please. Separate checks, please. We went to Paris. We went to Paris. We went to Paris. It's a great city. It's a great city. It's a great city. I live in Tokyo. I live in Tokyo. I live in Tokyo. A red tie will match that suit. A red tie will match that suit. A red tie will match that suit. He inspected the car for defects. He inspected the car for defects. He inspected the car for defects. Will you put this in the car for me? Will you put this in the car for me? Will you put this in the car for me? Sorry, we only accept cash. Sorry, we only accept cash. Sorry, we only accept cash. This is the first time I've been here. This is the first time I've been here. This is the first time I've been here. I enjoy having time to myself. I enjoy having time to myself. I enjoy having time to myself. Let's take our minds off from work. Let's take our minds off from work. Let's take our minds off from work. I'm sorry for calling you this late. I'm sorry for calling you this late. I'm sorry for calling you this late. Take care of my brother and sister. Take care of my brother and sister. Take care of my brother and sister. I don't think that will be necessary. I don't think that will be necessary. I don't think that will be necessary. Please give me a report on the theft. Please give me a report on the theft. Please give me a report on the theft. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. I'll take care of it. I drive a Volvo. I drive a Volvo. I drive a Volvo. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. I couldn't agree more. He is respectful to his elders. He is respectful to his elders. He is respectful to his elders. We often call him by his nickname. We often call him by his nickname. We often call him by his nickname. I can't leave this job at the moment. I can't leave this job at the moment. I can't leave this job at the moment. Please tell me what you honestly think. Please tell me what you honestly think. Please tell me what you honestly think. Can we order now? Can we order now? Can we order now? I am afraid that I'll have to go. I am afraid that I'll have to go. I am afraid that I'll have to go. I'll furnish my house with furniture. I'll furnish my house with furniture. I'll furnish my house with furniture. I have a lot of free time today. I have a lot of free time today. I have a lot of free time today. Sorry, I can't make that happen. Sorry, I can't make that happen. Sorry, I can't make that happen. It costs $20 per hour. It costs $20 per hour. It costs $20 per hour. I won't let you have your own way. I won't let you have your own way. I won't let you have your own way. I need some time to think it over. I need some time to think it over. I need some time to think it over. My father is in the hospital now. My father is in the hospital now. My father is in the hospital now. Do you have a pen that I can borrow? Do you have a pen that I can borrow? Do you have a pen that I can borrow? Don't say bad things about others. Don't say bad things about others. Don't say bad things about others. Where can I find the shoe department? Where can I find the shoe department? Where can I find the shoe department? What's the quickest way to get to there? What's the quickest way to get to there? What's the quickest way to get to there? Are you permitted to take pictures here? Are you permitted to take pictures here? Are you permitted to take pictures here? I'm calling you about tomorrow's meeting. I'm calling you about tomorrow's meeting. I'm calling you about tomorrow's meeting. You should make something out of yourself. You should make something out of yourself. You should make something out of yourself. My favorite, thanks. My favorite, thanks. My favorite, thanks. I'm watching TV. I'm watching TV. I'm watching TV. I had an accident. I had an accident. I had an accident. Susan is going to finish college. Susan is going to finish college. Susan is going to finish college. The book you ask for is sold out. The book you ask for is sold out. The book you ask for is sold out. I'd like to lie down for a while. I'd like to lie down for a while. I'd like to lie down for a while. I called but your line was busy. I called but your line was busy. I called but your line was busy. I'd be more than happy to help you. I'd be more than happy to help you. I'd be more than happy to help you. This coffee has a strong flavor. This coffee has a strong flavor. This coffee has a strong flavor. I think he is infatuated with you. I think he is infatuated with you. I think he is infatuated with you. There isn't much merit in doing so. There isn't much merit in doing so. There isn't much merit in doing so. We think that you are the best candidate. We think that you are the best candidate. We think that you are the best candidate. It's really spicy. It's really spicy. It's really spicy. How do I do that? How do I do that? How do I do that? Can I get out here? Can I get out here? Can I get out here? I have a stomachache. I have a stomachache. I have a stomachache. Money is no more than our servant. Money is no more than our servant. Money is no more than our servant. The secret was spread among the crowd. The secret was spread among the crowd. The secret was spread among the crowd. How much is it to go to Miami? How much is it to go to Miami? How much is it to go to Miami? How many hours a week do you work? How many hours a week do you work? How many hours a week do you work? He has a strong sense of duty. He has a strong sense of duty. He has a strong sense of duty. No, this is a non-smoking room. No, this is a non-smoking room. No, this is a non-smoking room. Every day I get up at 6 a.m. Every day I get up at 6 a.m. Every day I get up at 6 a.m. I put my work before my family. I put my work before my family. I put my work before my family. May I see the wine list, please? May I see the wine list, please? May I see the wine list, please? I usually exercise after work. I usually exercise after work. I usually exercise after work. I was only late by 5 minutes. I was only late by 5 minutes. I was only late by 5 minutes. I told you to do it before dinner. I told you to do it before dinner. I told you to do it before dinner. If you do that, you will get fired. If you do that, you will get fired. If you do that, you will get fired. This is the first time we have met. This is the first time we have met. This is the first time we have met. A friend in need is a friend indeed. A friend in need is a friend indeed. A friend in need is a friend indeed. None of your tricks will work on me. None of your tricks will work on me. None of your tricks will work on me. Please call me back in 10 minutes. Please call me back in 10 minutes. Please call me back in 10 minutes. Are there any sightseeing bus tours? Are there any sightseeing bus tours? Are there any sightseeing bus tours? I think that depends on one's opinion. I think that depends on one's opinion. I think that depends on one's opinion. Are there any golf courses around here? Are there any golf courses around here? Are there any golf courses around here? Would you like a drink? Would you like a drink? Would you like a drink? What are you watching? What are you watching? What are you watching? It's called Misashiru. It's called Misashiru. It's called Misashiru. He is on TV. He is on TV. He is on TV. We're low on gas. We're low on gas. We're low on gas. He's a real catch. He's a real catch. He's a real catch. My parents want me to go abroad. My parents want me to go abroad. My parents want me to go abroad. She is poor but quite respectable. She is poor but quite respectable. She is poor but quite respectable. He's a terrible man when he's angry. He's a terrible man when he's angry. He's a terrible man when he's angry. Where can we make the insurance claim? Where can we make the insurance claim? Where can we make the insurance claim? No, thank you, I don't like it. No, thank you, I don't like it. No, thank you, I don't like it. I need this to get there by tomorrow. I need this to get there by tomorrow. I need this to get there by tomorrow. I have to go to the post office. I have to go to the post office. I have to go to the post office. I'm sorry, but I have other plans. I'm sorry, but I have other plans. I'm sorry, but I have other plans. I'm unable to decide for myself. I'm unable to decide for myself. I'm unable to decide for myself. Is there a post office close by? Is there a post office close by? Is there a post office close by? I'm responsible for the east side. I'm responsible for the east side. I'm responsible for the east side. Hello, this is the Park Restaurant. Hello, this is the Park Restaurant. Hello, this is the Park Restaurant. We look forward to your kind reply. We look forward to your kind reply. We look forward to your kind reply. What time do you want to go bowling? What time do you want to go bowling? What time do you want to go bowling? Don't forget to take out the garbage. Don't forget to take out the garbage. Don't forget to take out the garbage. Please make a reservation for golf. Please make a reservation for golf. Please make a reservation for golf. I'm really happy that I could meet you. I'm really happy that I could meet you. I'm really happy that I could meet you. Please write us at the above address. Please write us at the above address. Please write us at the above address. What time will we arrive in Toulouse? What time will we arrive in Toulouse? What time will we arrive in Toulouse? Turn right at the first traffic light. Turn right at the first traffic light. Turn right at the first traffic light. What should I prepare for dinner tonight? What should I prepare for dinner tonight? What should I prepare for dinner tonight? You shouldn't underestimate his abilities. You shouldn't underestimate his abilities. You shouldn't underestimate his abilities. I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass. I'm going to pass. You're just in time. You're just in time. You're just in time. He worked on Avatar. He worked on Avatar. He worked on Avatar. I'll dry the dishes. I'll dry the dishes. I'll dry the dishes. I think it's great. I think it's great. I think it's great. I'm hooked on farming. I'm hooked on farming. I'm hooked on farming. I want to have a part-time job. I want to have a part-time job. I want to have a part-time job. This one cannot compare with that one. This one cannot compare with that one. This one cannot compare with that one. The flowers make the room more beautiful. The flowers make the room more beautiful. The flowers make the room more beautiful. It was hasty of me to do so. It was hasty of me to do so. It was hasty of me to do so. Drop the gun and no funny stuff. Drop the gun and no funny stuff. Drop the gun and no funny stuff. The television doesn't work in my room. The television doesn't work in my room. The television doesn't work in my room. Would you cash these traveler's checks? Would you cash these traveler's checks? Would you cash these traveler's checks? You shouldn't spend your money like water. You shouldn't spend your money like water. You shouldn't spend your money like water. Can I have a glass of water, please? Can I have a glass of water, please? Can I have a glass of water, please? My element is earth. My element is earth. My element is earth. Do you have any suggestions for me? Do you have any suggestions for me? Do you have any suggestions for me? He used to learn everything by rote. He used to learn everything by rote. He used to learn everything by rote. The two brothers look very much alike. The two brothers look very much alike. The two brothers look very much alike. It was as easy as 1, 2, 3. It was as easy as 1, 2, 3. It was as easy as 1, 2, 3. London is very different from Houston. London is very different from Houston. London is very different from Houston. Yes, to the best of my knowledge. Yes, to the best of my knowledge. Yes, to the best of my knowledge. You can call me until 6 o'clock. You can call me until 6 o'clock. You can call me until 6 o'clock. I had an affair with my secretary. I had an affair with my secretary. I had an affair with my secretary. It's our turn on the roller coaster. It's our turn on the roller coaster. It's our turn on the roller coaster. This is just what I was looking for. This is just what I was looking for. This is just what I was looking for. Are you satisfied with your new car? Are you satisfied with your new car? Are you satisfied with your new car? I don't think he is telling the truth. I don't think he is telling the truth. I don't think he is telling the truth. Calm down and think about it clearly. Calm down and think about it clearly. Calm down and think about it clearly. Do you have plans for this afternoon? Do you have plans for this afternoon? Do you have plans for this afternoon? We have to cooperate with each other. We have to cooperate with each other. We have to cooperate with each other. We work closely together with chores. We work closely together with chores. We work closely together with chores. Could I possibly have another room key? Could I possibly have another room key? Could I possibly have another room key? He's quite well off. He's quite well off. He's quite well off. Get your hands off. Get your hands off. Get your hands off. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. I changed my mind. I changed my mind. I changed my mind. Are the trains delayed? Are the trains delayed? Are the trains delayed? We're two of a kind. We're two of a kind. We're two of a kind. Tell me more about it. Tell me more about it. Tell me more about it. Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? Do you believe in God? I gave much time to the old car. I gave much time to the old car. I gave much time to the old car. Most games cost about that much. Most games cost about that much. Most games cost about that much. People enjoyed the stamps very much. People enjoyed the stamps very much. People enjoyed the stamps very much. This company is our regular customer. This company is our regular customer. This company is our regular customer. I haven't even touched your tooth yet. I haven't even touched your tooth yet. I haven't even touched your tooth yet. Please fetch a chair from another room. Please fetch a chair from another room. Please fetch a chair from another room. There was a murder in London yesterday. There was a murder in London yesterday. There was a murder in London yesterday. Do you have the number for a taxi? Do you have the number for a taxi? Do you have the number for a taxi? It's not as easy as it sounds. It's not as easy as it sounds. It's not as easy as it sounds. I have a lot of money on me now. I have a lot of money on me now. I have a lot of money on me now. How do you like my new red skirt? How do you like my new red skirt? How do you like my new red skirt? If you need any help, let me know. If you need any help, let me know. If you need any help, let me know. We will make it up as we go along. We will make it up as we go along. We will make it up as we go along. Could I have a subway map, please? Could I have a subway map, please? Could I have a subway map, please? I'm sorry, you've got the wrong number. I'm sorry, you've got the wrong number. I'm sorry, you've got the wrong number. We welcome this development very much. We welcome this development very much. We welcome this development very much. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys. Can you make it mild? Can you make it mild? Can you make it mild? It's due on tomorrow. It's due on tomorrow. It's due on tomorrow. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. This is a disaster. It really suits you. It really suits you. It really suits you. Want to make a bet? Want to make a bet? Want to make a bet? I hate to run, but I have to. I hate to run, but I have to. I hate to run, but I have to. It was careless of me to do so. It was careless of me to do so. It was careless of me to do so. It's natural for me to get angry. It's natural for me to get angry. It's natural for me to get angry. I can't help falling in love with you. I can't help falling in love with you. I can't help falling in love with you. I will finish the decorations for you. I will finish the decorations for you. I will finish the decorations for you. There's a beer store across the street. There's a beer store across the street. There's a beer store across the street. I braked really hard. I braked really hard. I braked really hard. He was a genius. He was a genius. He was a genius. There are four of us. There are four of us. There are four of us. Let's go with curls. Let's go with curls. Let's go with curls. Let's take a short break for lunch. Let's take a short break for lunch. Let's take a short break for lunch. Does the computer ever make a mistake? Does the computer ever make a mistake? Does the computer ever make a mistake? He's wise for a man of his age. He's wise for a man of his age. He's wise for a man of his age. I love you, but I can't marry you. I love you, but I can't marry you. I love you, but I can't marry you. You must wait for 5 more days. You must wait for 5 more days. You must wait for 5 more days. Are you saying that it's a bad idea? Are you saying that it's a bad idea? Are you saying that it's a bad idea? There is going to be a storm today. There is going to be a storm today. There is going to be a storm today. I'm sorry, we are quite full tonight. I'm sorry, we are quite full tonight. I'm sorry, we are quite full tonight. Do you want to go out with me tonight? Do you want to go out with me tonight? Do you want to go out with me tonight? Hurry or you will be late for school. Hurry or you will be late for school. Hurry or you will be late for school. Is it okay to take photographs here? Is it okay to take photographs here? Is it okay to take photographs here? May I clear the plates off the table? May I clear the plates off the table? May I clear the plates off the table? Which train should I take to Dallas? Which train should I take to Dallas? Which train should I take to Dallas? Would you make a reservation for golf? Would you make a reservation for golf? Would you make a reservation for golf? There's a little catch. There's a little catch. There's a little catch. How things turn out. How'd things turn out? How things turn out. It is not so easy as you think. It is not so easy as you think. It is not so easy as you think. He suggests you leave here at once. He suggests you leave here at once. He suggests you leave here at once. The price includes postage charges. The price includes postage charges. The price includes postage charges. I don't want to see it ever again. I don't want to see it ever again. I don't want to see it ever again. I will go give it a look right now. I will go give it a look right now. I will go give it a look right now. Am I permitted to park my car here? Am I permitted to park my car here? Am I permitted to park my car here? I can't keep track of the new music. I can't keep track of the new music. I can't keep track of the new music. He always finds fault with my work. He always finds fault with my work. He always finds fault with my work. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't bite off more than you can chew. How long does it take you to commute? How long does it take you to commute? How long does it take you to commute? Our business hours begin at 11. Our business hours begin at 11. Our business hours begin at 11. Don't take on more than you can handle. Don't take on more than you can handle. Don't take on more than you can handle. It is regretted that you lost the game. It is regretted that you lost the game. It is regretted that you lost the game. What a beautiful city. What a beautiful city. What a beautiful city. I won't be able to see him today. I won't be able to see him today. I won't be able to see him today. Smith is in charge of this class. Smith is in charge of this class. Smith is in charge of this class. True and false have opposite meanings. True and false have opposite meanings. True and false have opposite meanings. It is no use learning without thinking. It is no use learning without thinking. It is no use learning without thinking. Yes, as far as I can tell. Yes, as far as I can tell. Yes, as far as I can tell. How long have you been in USA? How long have you been in USA? How long have you been in USA? I forgot my key inside my room. I forgot my key inside my room. I forgot my key inside my room. Let's wait and see how things go. Let's wait and see how things go. Let's wait and see how things go. I blew it and I lost the customer. I blew it and I lost the customer. I blew it and I lost the customer. I'm not satisfied with his answer. I'm not satisfied with his answer. I'm not satisfied with his answer. There is one more day to Santiago. There is one more day to Santiago. There is one more day to Santiago. Well, that will teach you a lesson. Well, that will teach you a lesson. Well, that will teach you a lesson. We trust our request will reach you. We trust our request will reach you. We trust our request will reach you. You're the only one who has said that. You're the only one who has said that. You're the only one who has said that. Did you grasp the overall situation? Did you grasp the overall situation? Did you grasp the overall situation? We're called the Warriors. We're called the Warriors. We're called the Warriors. It was totally boring. It was totally boring. It was totally boring. How's your married life? How's your married life? How's your married life? Did you go to the Louvre? Did you go to the Louvre? Did you go to the Louvre? It's August 13th. It's August 13th. It's August 13th. I'll try again later. I'll try again later. I'll try again later. We're separated now. We're separated now. We're separated now. Let's watch TV with a candle on. Let's watch TV with a candle on. Let's watch TV with a candle on. The ice is hard enough to skate on. The ice is hard enough to skate on. The ice is hard enough to skate on. She really wishes her clock had rung. She really wishes her clock had rung. She really wishes her clock had rung. You are just putting on a little weight. You are just putting on a little weight. You are just putting on a little weight. Sorry, her line is busy now. Sorry, her line is busy now. Sorry, her line is busy now. I don't have much money on me now. I don't have much money on me now. I don't have much money on me now. Diana has been coming on to Jack. Diana has been coming on to Jack. Diana has been coming on to Jack. If you don't hurry, we will be late. If you don't hurry, we will be late. If you don't hurry, we will be late. I'd like a hamburger and an iced tea. I'd like a hamburger and an iced tea. I'd like a hamburger and an iced tea. I'd like you to meet a friend of mine. I'd like you to meet a friend of mine. I'd like you to meet a friend of mine. We will contact you when we find it. We will contact you when we find it. We will contact you when we find it. Do you have your sweater on inside out? Do you have your sweater on inside out? Do you have your sweater on inside out? I hope I will get along with everyone. I hope I will get along with everyone. I hope I will get along with everyone. I felt much better after hearing that. I felt much better after hearing that. I felt much better after hearing that. Please give my regards to your family. Please give my regards to your family. Please give my regards to your family. The game is cancelled because of the rain. The game is cancelled because of the rain. The game is cancelled because of the rain. I want to go to the computer store. I want to go to the computer store. I want to go to the computer store. Janet is a knockout. Janet is a knockout. Janet is a knockout. I'll call a taxi in case of need. I'll call a taxi in case of need. I'll call a taxi in case of need. Listening with your heart is good for you. Listening with your heart is good for you. Listening with your heart is good for you. I don't want to talk about it now. I don't want to talk about it now. I don't want to talk about it now. I know it's mind-boggling, isn't it? I know it's mind-boggling, isn't it? I know it's mind-boggling, isn't it? I will help you after dinner, okay? I will help you after dinner, okay? I will help you after dinner, okay? Who should I ask about car rentals? Who should I ask about car rentals? Who should I ask about car rentals? Please fill out a report on the theft. Please fill out a report on the theft. Please fill out a report on the theft. I'll write you a letter. I'll write you a letter. I'll write you a letter. I go to university. I go to university. I go to university. I'll take a chance. I'll take a chance. I'll take a chance. I count you as one of my friends. I count you as one of my friends. I count you as one of my friends. Nobody has ever solved this problem. Nobody has ever solved this problem. Nobody has ever solved this problem. Why don't you attend an aerobic class? Why don't you attend an aerobic class? Why don't you attend an aerobic class? We regard the matter as nothing important. We regard the matter as nothing important. We regard the matter as nothing important. Where can I exchange US dollars? Where can I exchange US dollars? Where can I exchange US dollars? I can't keep up with the new songs. I can't keep up with the new songs. I can't keep up with the new songs. I'd like to make golf reservations. I'd like to make golf reservations. I'd like to make golf reservations. Can you finish the report by Friday? Can you finish the report by Friday? Can you finish the report by Friday? I like to be practical about things. I like to be practical about things. I like to be practical about things. They all look so delicious, don't they? They all look so delicious, don't they? They all look so delicious, don't they? When does this have to be finished by? When does this have to be finished by? When does this have to be finished by? I don't feel like doing anything today. I don't feel like doing anything today. I don't feel like doing anything today. My reaction is completely appropriate. My reaction is completely appropriate. My reaction is completely appropriate. I'll send the pictures. I'll send the pictures. I'll send the pictures. My laptop is dead. My laptop is dead. My laptop is dead. Could I possibly try? Could I possibly try? Could I possibly try? There is a mark of ink on his shirt. There is a mark of ink on his shirt. There is a mark of ink on his shirt. Our school is in the east of Beijing. Our school is in the east of Beijing. Our school is in the east of Beijing. You should learn these words by heart. You should learn these words by heart. You should learn these words by heart. It's between the bookstore and the drugstore. It's between the bookstore and the drugstore. It's between the bookstore and the drugstore. The sooner, the better. The sooner, the better. The sooner, the better. Long time no see. Long time no see. Long time no see. How do you like steak? How do you like steak? How do you like steak? There is a good restaurant on the street. There is a good restaurant on the street. There is a good restaurant on the street. Well, if the shoe fits, wear it. Well, If the shoe fits, wear it. Well, if the shoe fits, wear it. I'd like to invite you to a show. I'd like to invite you to a show. I'd like to invite you to a show. It is urgent I talk to Bar now. It is urgent I talk to Bar now. It is urgent I talk to Bar now. I can't get excited about my job. I can't get excited about my job. I can't get excited about my job. Do you want to go out or stay home? Do you want to go out or stay home? Do you want to go out or stay home? I don't know quite how to put this. I don't know quite how to put this. I don't know quite how to put this. Please do not hesitate to call us. Please do not hesitate to call us. Please do not hesitate to call us. I will be open and sincere with you. I will be open and sincere with you. I will be open and sincere with you. It has become dark outside already. It has become dark outside already. It has become dark outside already. Which Richard do you want to talk to? Which Richard do you want to talk to? Which Richard do you want to talk to? Can't you think of it in a different way? Can't you think of it in a different way? Can't you think of it in a different way? Thanks for coming all the way over here. Thanks for coming all the way over here. Thanks for coming all the way over here. There was nothing else I couldn't have done. There was nothing else I couldn't have done. There was nothing else I couldn't have done. Does it taste good? Does it taste good? Does it taste good? Would you please send us? Would you please send us? Would you please send us? Does that work for you? Does that work for you? Does that work for you? Baseball grew on me. Baseball grew on me. Baseball grew on me. I viewed your profile. I viewed your profile. I viewed your profile. I am sick of always waiting for you. I am sick of always waiting for you. I am sick of always waiting for you. It is clear that the cat has eaten it. It is clear that the cat has eaten it. It is clear that the cat has eaten it. There is some difference between the twins. There is some difference between the twins. There is some difference between the twins. I know you, but I forgot your name. I know you, but I forgot your name. I know you, but I forgot your name. The trains come 5 times a day. The trains come 5 times a day. The trains come 5 times a day. What do you say to going to a movie? What do you say to going to a movie? What do you say to going to a movie? Let's get this straight, I'm the boss. Let's get this straight, I'm the boss. Let's get this straight, I'm the boss. Please call me as soon as possible. Please call me as soon as possible. Please call me as soon as possible. Where can I catch an express train? Where can I catch an express train? Where can I catch an express train? What do you do when you have free time? What do you do when you have free time? What do you do when you have free time? We invite your attention to this news. We invite your attention to this news. We invite your attention to this news. The amendment provides that we can enter. The amendment provides that we can enter. The amendment provides that we can enter. That sounds intriguing. That sounds intriguing. That sounds intriguing. Everything is going well. Everything is going well. Everything is going well. Turn left here, please. Turn left here, please. Turn left here, please. Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Are you listening to me? Do you happen to know? Do you happen to know? Do you happen to know? Ice cream is popular among children. Ice cream is popular among children. Ice cream is popular among children. I'm not sure I see what you mean. I'm not sure I see what you mean. I'm not sure I see what you mean. My cell phone has good reception. My cell phone has good reception. My cell phone has good reception. It would be better if you took a bus. It would be better if you took a bus. It would be better if you took a bus. How would you like to play golf tomorrow? How would you like to play golf tomorrow? How would you like to play golf tomorrow? Take my baggage, please. Take my baggage, please. Take my baggage, please. Do you speak Japanese? Do you speak Japanese? Do you speak Japanese? I'll be busy tomorrow. I'll be busy tomorrow. I'll be busy tomorrow. Could you speak up, please? Could you speak up, please? Could you speak up, please? Why don't I pick you up at your house? Why don't I pick you up at your house? Why don't I pick you up at your house? I get off from work at 5 p.m. I get off from work at 5 p.m. I get off from work at 5 p.m. When can I stop by to say hi? When can I stop by to say hi? When can I stop by to say hi? No, this is a no parking zone. No, this is a no parking zone. No, this is a no parking zone. I'm sorry, but I'm busy just now. I'm sorry, but I'm busy just now. I'm sorry, but I'm busy just now. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. I didn't know I wasn't supposed to. Why don't you come to my house now? Why don't you come to my house now? Why don't you come to my house now? My country has a lot of mountains. My country has a lot of mountains. My country has a lot of mountains. There's a meeting today at 5600. There's a meeting today at 5600. There's a meeting today at 5600. I'm sorry, we are all booked up tonight. I'm sorry, we are all booked up tonight. I'm sorry, we are all booked up tonight. It's your turn to take out the garbage. It's your turn to take out the garbage. It's your turn to take out the garbage. I'm rooting for Arsenal. I'm rooting for Arsenal. I'm rooting for Arsenal. How much is the fare? How much is the fare? How much is the fare? She spent a lot of money on books. She spent a lot of money on books. She spent a lot of money on books. Why don't you put your money in a bank? Why don't you put your money in a bank? Why don't you put your money in a bank? How long have you been doing that job? How long have you been doing that job? How long have you been doing that job? What time do you think he will be back? What time do you think he will be back? What time do you think he will be back? Are you saying you are better than I am? Are you saying you are better than I am? Are you saying you are better than I am? How often should I take this medicine? How often should I take this medicine? How often should I take this medicine? What kind of wine do you have available? What kind of wine do you have available? What kind of wine do you have available? The woman plead guilty. The woman plead guilty. The woman plead guilty. Its origin is still a mystery now. Its origin is still a mystery now. Its origin is still a mystery now. I learned that I had passed the test. I learned that I had passed the test. I learned that I had passed the test. None of us is afraid of difficulties. None of us is afraid of difficulties. None of us is afraid of difficulties. I don't know if I'll have the patience. I don't know if I'll have the patience. I don't know if I'll have the patience. My grandmother passed away last year. My grandmother passed away last year. My grandmother passed away last year. Your English is improving little by little. Your English is improving little by little. Your English is improving little by little. I'd like a room with 2 beds, please. I'd like a room with 2 beds, please. I'd like a room with 2 beds, please. John is going on vacation tomorrow. John is going on vacation tomorrow. John is going on vacation tomorrow. May I have 2 hot dogs, please? May I have 2 hot dogs, please? May I have 2 hot dogs, please? I usually drink coffee at breakfast. I usually drink coffee at breakfast. I usually drink coffee at breakfast. Cheer up and you will get a new job. Cheer up and you will get a new job. Cheer up and you will get a new job. Do you have a lot of nerve to say that? Do you have a lot of nerve to say that? Do you have a lot of nerve to say that? I don't want to hear about it anymore. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I don't want to hear about it anymore. I'd like to reserve a table for 8. I'd like to reserve a table for 8. I'd like to reserve a table for 8. Don't take your frustration out on me. Don't take your frustration out on me. Don't take your frustration out on me. I'm not sure what he is thinking about. I'm not sure what he is thinking about. I'm not sure what he is thinking about. Don't you think you can save more money? Don't you think you can save more money? Don't you think you can save more money?